Hi, let's talk about forms. So if you'll just go to forms.google.com, you'll be in the right spot. You want to be logged in as the owner of the form. This account, this email account, is going to receive submissions for this form. If it's possible, log into the Google Drive of the person or account that you need to receive the submissions. So if this is not the person that needs to receive the submissions and it's another person on campus, you're going to want to go to drive.google.com, click this button, and log into the correct account. Then you're going to do New Google Form. Now, if it's a delegated account, for instance, web communications at nsuok.edu, you cannot log into the drive of a delegated account. This video will show you how to handle those submissions as well, but if it is one person on campus that needs to get the forms, simply log into that person's Google Drive, click on New Google Forms, and we're going to make a blank form. Obviously, that's the title of the form. You notice I still have untitled up here, but I've given it a title here. Now watch what happens. Click and it will populate. Here's question 1, and you can add your options. You can do that as a multiple choice. Now, if you do not want people to be able to submit this form without answering this question, you need to turn the required on. I will show you another type of a question which may come in handy. In the options, you can add a picture. This could be something that you upload from your camera, from your desktop, or you could even get a Google image search and find some images there. If so, this might come in handy when there are template choices. For instance, the shout outs, they may look different. So that could be it. I don't know, maybe it's a color choice on a t-shirt form. So if it's a color choice, you literally can search for blue, and there is your color choice for blue. Okay, so you could use images if you want. Now, a lot of times on a question, we see that there are some extra descriptions under the question, and you can do that. It is right here. Add a title and description, I think. No, where did it go? Yes, okay. But see these 3 dots? That's how you turn the description on or off. So here is a question with a description. So this could be just some extra text that you give people. Please enter your phone number in this format. Just some extra instructions. Okay. And if you wanted to add some choices to that, it would be, whoops-a-daisy. Is not all what we wanted to do. Let's get this out. Let's get this out. I'm going to add a plain old question, and now I'm going to add the description to it. There we go. and required. All right. So I've set up the form, and you can experiment with the different types of questions here. You could actually even play a video in a question. So here, you could use that. Sometimes it might be watch this video and then tell me, and you can search YouTube, or you can provide the YouTube URL right there. Either way you want to do it. Let's see. I think there is a... Whoops, that's not it. It's cute. I like that one. So you can actually play a video in the question right there and all this good stuff. Okay, so there are forms and things you can do with forms. Once you're done, you don't actually have to click anything. It's automatically saved. However, we need to populate these forms into a spreadsheet. We need to save them somewhere. So we're going to click on the Responses tab, and we're going to click on the 3 dots and do one thing here. We're going to get email notifications for the responses. Email's enabled. We're going to click the spreadsheet icon, and we're going to create a new spreadsheet. You can use an existing spreadsheet if you want, but it's going to make a new tab in that spreadsheet. However you want to do it. You could add a tab to your overall department spreadsheet for just these form responses, and if you do that, you will select it, and then you'll go find that in the drive. I'm just going to create a new one. And now you can see that there's the form. So here's your share. You could share this with people in the office that need to come in here and process these requests if you want. The thing is with this, they're going to have to remember to come and check it on a regular basis. We also want an email notification to go to the person that needs to be checking this form. But we also need to give them access. So right now, people can't do anything. They can open it, but they can't edit or things like that. So you're definitely going to want to make this form editable with the people that need to see it. So what you could do is add that person and make it an editor and then send. And then you're going to click on send and they'll get the message, okay? I don't want to send that to poor Brian because he gets enough stuff from me, and this early in the morning he'll be wondering what I'm doing. Now, we need one more thing. So we're going to click on settings and we're going to look over this. You need to know who's submitting, so make sure you check collect email addresses. This will actually make a column in your spreadsheet. Do you want people to be able to submit the form more than one time? Most of the time, yes. It's a maintenance request or something like that, so they're going to do that more than one. Do you want people outside of NSU to be able to submit the form? Now, sometimes if you're using your mobile device, you're logged into a personal Gmail, and it makes it irritating to try to do a Google form through NSU because then you have to go log into Blackboard. It's extra steps. It's difficult on your phone. If it all okay, I would not check that box. It makes it hard on your users sometimes. Do you want them to be able to change their mind if they turn it in? Well, this is not a quiz or a test, so probably yeah. Let's go ahead and let them change that. On your presentation tab, this is where you can put a personalized confirmation. Okay. Be aware, this confirmation message is only going to pop up for a second when they submit the form, and then they're going to close it, and most people will not read this. It's there, some will, most won't. If they choose when they submit the form that they want an email copy of their results, they'll get it. But if they don't check that box, they're not going to see the results anyway. And I'll demonstrate the form with this. So we're going to save it. Now, we can preview this form right here, and we'll do a test submission. So we're going to turn in our results. Here is my confirmation. I can edit it or turn in another one right there. Okay, now hopefully at my email I got some results for this form. But we're going to close this preview because I have my edit open here. I'm going to refresh this because there's my email. Yep. So on my sheet, now it's populated. This is an automatic thing, you know, when people turned it in. These are the questions, and here's my email address. Okay, now on the form, under the send button, click send, you have two options. One is just the URL. This is what you would use for linked text. So I'm just going to click that. It's habit. I like a shorter URL. So we'll copy that. Now in Omni Update on our page, we could use linked text. Click here to fill out Charlotte's form. So we're going to highlight that, link it. There is that form URL I just copied. Probably in a new window when they click it and save it. So now I have some linked text on the page. But there's another way you can do your forms. If you get this embed code, so see the HTML brackets? That's an embed code. So copy that. You can use this copy button if you want. Then we're going to go back to our page here. And really what we're going to do is insert or edit media. It's not a video, but it is an embedded item. It's media. There's an embed tab right there. We're going to put our embed code in there. Do you see the width and the height? You could change that if you want, if it's too big or small on your page. Save it. Now users actually see the form on the page. And do you see how they have this scroll bar? Whoops-a-daisy. If you change the height, that will go away. So let's click it. Let's go to our, let's make this be 2000 high. Let's see if that scroll bar might go away. Now you can see the whole form. So see, you can experiment. Now it's probably too tall. See how that extra space at the bottom? So click it, edit media. Now let's make it, I don't know, 1900. Let's see. Still a little too tall, a little blank space. Anyway, you get the point. So now you have a form on the page. It looks a lot better. And the person actually clicks on your page to fill that out. Go ahead and publish your page. If you have any trouble publishing, I need that URL at the top of your page. So you could just copy that URL that I've just highlighted, send that to me and ask me to publish your page for you. But users have two ways to fill out the form now. This is what it looks like live. I can click here. It opens the form. I can actually click here and complete the form right on the page. All right, now let's deal with how do we get that email notification to the right person. In your email, I was the owner of the form, so here is my response. Every time someone gets one of those, I'll get this response. They will always have the same subject. So see that subject? That's what we're going to filter for. So get your subject. Click on the settings in your Gmail inbox. See all settings. And first, you're going to want to set up a forwarding address. you have to add a forwarding address to be in there. So this would be webcommunications@nsuok.edu. Now this is not going to forward all my email over there. It just gave me an option. It just added an option for it. Now, you see this? You can also forward only some of your mail by creating a filter. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to create a filter. We're looking for emails with that subject. And we're going to do create filter now. I almost clicked that blue button. It's so tempting. Create filter. And we're going to forward it to that email. That could be anything you want. You've got to add it first, though. Then what do you want to do with it? Well, we could also move it to form notifications for Charlotte's form so that those aren't clogging up our inbox. I just added a new folder in my inbox for this. So as soon as this comes in, an email with this subject, we're going to forward it to Web Communications, and we're also going to file it in this folder. Get it out of the way. You can delete it if you want, but if you want to see a response and it's right there in your email, it's off in a folder, it's going to be easy to get to because you're in your personal email all day. You do whatever you want. You could definitely just delete it after it comes in. You're going to forward it there and delete it from your personal. Either way you want to do it. And at the bottom, you're going to click your blue button to create. And now you're done. So we can just go ahead and get out of this. You can go on to your inbox, whatever you want to do. Now when someone turns in the form, so we'll go back to the form and we'll preview it. Now let's submit it. This is how well people will read your instructions as well. We've submitted a new one. I know this email doesn't match my forwarding email. That's okay. Now let's go look at our response sheet. Here's my new one. There's the data off of it, so I can process this however I want. And in my email inbox, why don't I have this form? What happens to the form? Remember, when we get a new one, it filed it into something. There we go. Form notifications. That's the label. A label in Gmail is a folder. There it is. So all of those are going to be right there. There's the response I just turned in. View the summary if you want. But also, did it go to Web Communications? Let's go see. So here's the Web Communications inbox, and look right there. So Gmail handled the forwarding for me. You can get this to multiple people if you want. I think you can forward it to more than one. And you could always set up a filter here that when this subject comes in, it forwards to a second person, even if you wanted. But that is how you get forms set up on your web pages and going to the right person. Now let's address one more thing. So as you can see, this form's going to get quite long. What I always do with these is after I've handled this one, I will highlight the row. Y'all know I love highlighting. Or you can hide the rows that are done. But to me, if somebody unhides it, then we don't know where we're at. But you can hide those rows. You see now 2 and 3 are hidden because I processed it. If you don't need to keep the results, if you've handled this, delete the row. Now only the new things are there. So once you process it, you could highlight it, delete it, or whatever. To me, I don't think you'd want to delete these. I would just keep them highlighted, and maybe you can add a column over here. This column, this spreadsheet is yours. So who handled it could go right here in this column. And then as your workers come in, they could put their name there with who processed the request. And again, you could share this just like you share any other Google Doc with whoever you want. They could, maybe they don't necessarily need all these form notifications, but maybe they need to see what's happening with the form notifications, and they could have access to the sheet. There is Google Forms. Have a great day, you guys.